There are the good days, and then there are the great days. And this is one of them. We're aboard Kiboko Tres, which is the second Southern Wind 105. Southern Wind exemplify modern performance cruising super yachts, something you can race in a regatta or take around the world in comfort, and we're doing exactly what these boats do best. So I've been lucky enough to be invited aboard Kiboko for sample a day sailing, and we've got ideal conditions here in Palma Bay. We've had about 15 to early 20s true wind, doing about 11 and a half upwind, and it's just such a nice experience because these boats are designed and built for people to sail them properly and to still feel the sailing experience, and you get that. You get it straight away, and it's a real joy. So for those that don't know Southern Wind so well, they are built in South Africa, launched in Cape Town, which for me is a big point because they then need to sail on their own keel, typically to the Mediterranean, wherever they're going. It's quite a big shakedown sail to have, so Southern Wind need to know that these boats are built to take the blue water straight away. Kiboko's just done that. It did that in the winter, and now it's come to Palma, home port, where our owner will cruise her a lot with his large family and take part in the odd regatta. And this is what it's about, enjoying, maximising the conditions you get for sailing. Carbon hulls, carbon decks, carbon bulkheads, carbon rigs buys relatively light displacement. It's under 70 tons light ship for this 105. Far and now to design, which has been a winning recipe for Southern Wind over the last 3 decades. And this built in a mini series, so this is the second of the third 105s. It's a cracker. But with all that carbon, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just about some sort of lightweight race boat. This is designed and built to take owners and crews around the planet. So there's plenty of space and comfort for guests. And it's also easy to manage for a relatively short-handed crew. You'll notice the mainsail is all operated and trimmed from the pedestals, so you just need one person on the primary winch as well to help you, so 2 people can sail this boat at speed. So this is the raised saloon version, now to design, which basically means light, bright, modern, inviting. Obviously customized to whatever the owner wants, and this, he's gone for a Majorcan blue and white upholstery theme to it. Elsewhere, layout wise, it's a tried and proven recipe that Southern Wind use, which is basically guest cabins centered around the middle of the boat, forward owner's cabin, and all the crew and galley area machinery aft, and it works really, really well. You'll note from here as well, this section behind the mast is left blank because you can have a telescopic keel there as well. So one of the key USPs for me with Southern Wind is the layout aft. And I think anyone that's crewed on a big boat will know how important it is to keep a crew happy, to keep a crew for the owner. And keeping all of the crew accommodation space in the galley aft works really well when you have private access to a crew cockpit as well. So you get this space, you're in the beamy part of the boat. Galley here linking to a generous size crew mess really, so you sit 4 around this table. Reasonable size galley. It's quite a similar layout actually, in fact, to the 96. It's not that much more spacious, but you've got an extra crew space as well. So to starboard there is a good size skipper's ensuite cabin. And then for the rest of the crew, 2 Pullman cabins which share a heads and shower. But also this great area here, which is a proper chart table, right where you want it, at the base of the companionway steps, with its own private access out to that cockpit. So a big benefit of moving up to this size, I say moving up because this is the 3rd boat this owner's had, gone from a 72 to a 94 to 105. At this size, you get a proper tender garage, and that gives you independence as well. This has room for a 4.3 metre jet tender stored longitudinally. And I just wanted to show you this because it's quite a good example of what Southern Wind do to find good lightweight solutions that are practical. So this has this H-beam sort of thing you might have seen on motor yachts before, but I haven't seen it on a sailing boat. Mostly they use the transom door to get their tenders in and out from, but this is a nice solution because it picks the tender up, takes the weight off it, uses a track like a normal sort of jib track to then take the boat aft or bring it back in again, taking the weight off the structure of the boat. So obviously that tender garage hogs quite a lot of storage room, but what Southern Wind do well is create a lot of stowage space where possible. So these aft quarter lockers each side of that tender garage, a clue to the beam back here, have plenty of accessible and practical stowage, bosun's gear back here, and also accessible steering gear. So you can adjust the tow angle of the twin rudders here and get at the quadrant as well, which is nice. It's not hidden or blocked at all by the tender. And then up in the bows, standard feature of a Southern Wind, you get a huge sail locker, deep and long. So you've got a furled up code sail there, and still room, this partition, this longitudinal partition, creates room for another sail or something else that you can keep protected from lines and fenders on one side. Another point to note is there's the chain locker itself further forward is offset, and that allows the longitudinal space going forward to stow the sail. It's all very tidy and it's all very, very well thought out. It's not often the stars align like today. I hope you've enjoyed joining us on board for this tour. It's been a real pleasure. I've always thought Southern Winds look like the sort of yachts that sailors would enjoy sailing. And after an ideal day in Palma, 20 knots of breeze, having access to the boat to sail it ourselves, I'm pleased to say it does not disappoint.